Hey everyone. I know it's kind of late. I didn't have a lot of time today. I had to work and I had a lot of extra stuff to do. But I'm putting it up now. This last night was Monday Night Raw. This is Wrestling in Review. We kicked off with the announcement that the Raw women's title match was going to be the main event. That is Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. They made a big spectacle about it, which it is. I'm happy for them. I'm glad that they're able to do this. Next was something I thought was kind of stupid. It was the Beat the Clock challenge for Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky. Ronda fought Sarah Logan from the Riot Squad, and it was just a 1 minute and 25-second squash match for Ronda, and then it was Charlotte Flair versus Ruby Riott, and the time ran out. She wasn't able to make. She had Ruby in the figure 8 at the end of it, and time ran out before Ruby was able to tap out. So she didn't beat the clock. And next was Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan, and Becky beat the clock by, I think, 7 seconds. I'm glad to see they're doing something with these 3 women, especially all together. But this whole segment kind of, for me, was kind of low. I gave this whole segment 1 star. Because, first of all, they didn't need to be killing the Riot Squad off just like they just did. They could have found someone else. Plus, they didn't need to do this. Why do a beat the clock challenge? There's nothing on the line. Usually when they do a beat the clock challenge, there's some type of, title or number one contendership on the line or something or the other. There's something on the line. There's nothing on the line. It makes no sense to do a beat the clock challenge. I didn't like this at all. Big thumbs down. Next was a match between Finn Balor, Lio Rush, and Bobby Lashley. Finn comes out, then Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush comes out. Leo says that he is not cleared to compete. His replacement is Jinder Mahal. So it is Jinder Mahal versus and Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor. Oh, I forgot to mention, if Finn Balor wins this, he gets a match at WrestleMania against Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental title. So obviously we know he's going to win this match. There was a lot of distractions from the outside for Finn, from Lio Rush and the Singh brothers. But besides that, Finn was in control most of this match. It was mostly him beating up Jinder, but he did get a few moves in on Bobby. This wasn't a very long match at all. Finn hits the coup de grace, pins Jinder 1, 2, 3. I give this match 1.5 stars. Bobby Lashley after the match did attack Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers for losing the match for him. So now it's official at WrestleMania. It's going to be Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental title. Next is something that there's a few of them on throughout the night, but I'm only going to mention it once because I thought they all sucked. I don't know why they did it like this. The audio on it sucked. It was just bad promos. Elias did a few promos from New York, on the streets of New York, and it was just bad jokes. They remind us again that he's going to be the musical headline for WrestleMania, and then they were just doing bad jokes by, he got interrupted by a drifter, and later on he gets robbed and stuff. I just found it really stupid, so I'm only going to mention it once. I didn't like any of these, and this is the last time I'll mention those promos. Next was a match, again, that I did not want to see. It was Aleister Black and Ricochet versus the Revival. Not only have we seen this match not too recently, but I don't want to see the Revival lose again. They are the tag team champions. They deserve better than just to be squashed in a match on Raw. They even made the Revival make a mistake, and they're supposed to be tag team specialists. I mean, I just didn't like that at all. It did start off pretty well. There was a brawl before the bell rang, but the faces got the upper hand on that. There's a lot of distractions on the outside towards Aleister Black during the beginning of the match. Most of the match was just a setting up for a hot tag because Ricochet was in the match and getting destroyed, and Aleister Black was on the apron ready for the hot tag. Eventually, he did get the hot tag. He cleaned house. Like I said, the Revival threw Aleister Black into the wrong corner and was able to get Ricochet to tag in. And Ricochet came in, he hit his 630. I forget who was on one of them. He got the pin. 1, 2, 3. I give this match 2 stars because it was a good match, but I just didn't want to see the Revival lose again. They deserve better. I mean, if they're gonna, they might as well just take the titles off them and let them go. I mean, what's the point? Next was the first in-ring segment of the night, and this is like an hour in, so that's pretty good. It was Drew McIntyre. He came out. He basically told the crowd that, you will respect me. That, I took down the Shield. And he did a video package of what he did to Roman a few weeks ago. He was telling Roman to say no. He was breaking the fourth wall, which again I didn't like. He was calling Roman Joe, and there's just been too much of this. I forgot to mention, but earlier on in the night, Ronda was also breaking the fourth wall, saying how it's scripted and stuff. And once in a while is good. Once in a while is nice to just peek around the corner, around the not apron, but the curtain, see what's going on. But I don't need to see it every single week. And it really just, I know wrestling is scripted. I know that what's going on isn't really what's going on. You don't need to tell me every single week. I'm getting sick of these fourth wall breaks. There's just too many of them. Eventually Roman does come out. Roman does say yes to the match at WrestleMania. So it will be Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. Fight did break out, which Drew McIntyre did get the upper hand on, and at the end was standing over a limp Roman Reigns. We cut to a backstage segment, which is they went to commercial, and then we cut to a backstage segment where Drew McIntyre was coming from the ring, and he happens to run into Dean Ambrose, and Dean Ambrose challenges him to last man standing match, which was accepted. And I actually got a little bit excited about this because last man standing matches are one of my favorite kinds of matches, if not my favorite kind of match. We go back to the ring. It is Sasha Banks versus Natty Neidhart. This is one of the best matches of the night. It's a really good back and forth match. I didn't find that there was I found there was no wasted movement. It was very fluid into one move into the next. There was a lot of counters, a lot of nice counters. The only bad thing is that, and I get this, they're trying to set up a match for WrestleMania. They're probably going to do like a fatal 4-way match or something like that. And so the match was interrupted again by Tamina and Nia Jax. It ended in DQ. Beth Phoenix was there, and she ended up giving a glam slam to Tamina. It did look kind of messed up because, it kind of looked like she held her on the way down. But besides that, it was pretty good. Like I said, I didn't like the DQ finish, but I still give this match, so far, is the highest rated match of the night with 3 stars, which is a pretty good TV match. At least I found. Next was another backstage segment. Kurt Angle, he's talking about his farewell. His match with Samoa Joe tonight, and his match with Corbin at WrestleMania. Eventually, he was interrupted by Baron Corbin, and basically just called Kurt Angle old and said he should have retired 10 years ago. Meh. There was another backstage segment with Sasha and Bayley, and they basically challenged all the teams who they faced in the past couple of weeks to a match at WrestleMania. So it's not official yet, but there's probably going to be a fatal 4-way match for the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania. Next segment was a Moment of Bliss segment. I'm getting sick of these moments of bliss, because Alexa Bliss can do so much more. She's an awesome wrestler, and she deserves better than just a talk show segment each week. They showed a video recap of what's been happening between Braun Strowman and the people from SNL. Actually, I had notes on this and I stopped writing on it because I just didn't care this much. Basically, Braun came out. He said that he told the Saturday Night Live people who showed up on the Tron via satellite to show up at WrestleMania and be in the Battle Royal. Basically, they agreed, and now they are in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which they soon will be destroyed by, which I'm assuming is the eventual winner, Braun Strowman. But the rest of this kind of segment just kind of sucked and blah. There was another Elias promo. Don't want to talk about it. Next was a match between Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. This was pretty much what I thought it was going to be. It was just kind of meh to me. I didn't care about it at all. It was just a way to get Baron over, or at least get him 50-50 booking. So because Apollo Crews had beat him last week, so Baron had to beat him this week because good old 50-50 booking. I give this match one star. Because they did do some things, but meh. I didn't care. Next was another in-ring segment with Seth Rollins. He says he wants the weight of being the champion. He wants to inspire people the way he was inspired when he was younger by champions of the past. He says that he has no choice but to beat Brock Lesnar. He is soon interrupted by Paul Heyman, who starts mocking him, saying that, oh, I need your hopes and prayers and blah blah blah. Anyway, he says that he has no chance in winning. Basically, Seth says that he will burn Suplex City down to the ground. And next was the match between Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle. There was a little throwback for this match for TNA when they first fought, or when they first went face to face. Because I remember TNA, they went face to face, and Kurt Angle headbutted him. I saw this on Reddit too, but I do remember this. And Kurt Angle gave him a headbutt, and when it started this match, bam, Samoa Joe gives Kurt Angle a headbutt. But there was a lot of smack talk during this match, back and forth. It wasn't as good and as fluid as I wanted it to be, but it was still a pretty good match. It felt intense. It felt Samoa Joe was always intense. It felt like he really wanted to destroy Kurt Angle's, farewell tour. I give this match 3 stars, and that's just 3 stars because it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. There was some mistakes made. It wasn't as fluid. It felt like Kurt Angle was old and he didn't know exactly what he was doing, which I feel sad about saying because I'm a big fan of Kurt Angle, and maybe it is true that maybe he should be retiring now. But I still give this match 3 stars. Next was a Triple H promo. He came out to the ring to talk about what Dave Bautista said last week. Oh my God, this was a bad promo. Because basically, Triple H made a bunch of bad jokes about Batista. And the only thing I want to talk about is the only thing that matters. Is the new stipulation that was added to their WrestleMania match, which is Triple H's career is on the line. So if Batista beats Triple H, boom, his in-ring career is on the line, is gone, done, boom. I honestly don't know. I don't think it's gonna end. I see Triple H still going on for a while. I mean, this is just a way to, boost sales or boost, popularity for the match. Next was another Elias promo. Not talking about it. And finally, we have the main event, which is Dean Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre in the Last Man Standing match, which is, again, I love Last Man Standing matches, so I was all for this. It was quite a match. It was very back and forth. It was quite intense. There was a lot of hits with chairs and kendo sticks. Dean Ambrose had a big welt across his chest from being hit with the kendo stick. Drew, his back got busted open. I forget how that happened, but he got busted open pretty good. On his back, I mean. Dean, he was put through a table and then hit with the Claymore, and he was down for the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Drew McIntyre wins. I give this match 3 stars out of 5. Bam. It was an okay episode of Raw. Not the matches weren't the best. There was only a few that even kind of meet like good standards. But overall, it was an okay show. But that's not what you want when you're on the road to WrestleMania, which we're only like 2 weeks away. So they better pick it up, and they better like conclude some of their storylines going into WrestleMania. Like I know there's planned matches going in, but I want to know for certain what's going to happen. Anyway, if you like this video, leave a comment, and like the video, and subscribe. Hope you have a good night. See you later.